Hey guys, welcome back to the All Gen Gamer podcast. I am Jason, also known as the Metal Jesus, and I'm joined by my lovely hosts. We're going to start with John Gamester81. John, how's it going?
Good, Jason. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Not much. I have a question for you, John. I always have a question whenever I open these up, right?
This is never a good thing when you open it.
Never good.
What's going on?
I want to know, on your Xbox 360, what's a specific achievement that you're kind of proud of? Like, and that can either be a game or a specific achievement that you got.
Wow, you're putting me on the spot here.
Wow.
Is there a game that like you have a lot of achievements in?
Well, Batman, Arkham City, I have quite a few, but I'm not a big achievement hunter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it does not a big deal to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I do have quite a few in Batman, and I was playing Retro City Rampage this week and getting quite a few on that. Or actually, no, three. Let's see, I was on, what was I playing? The Walking Dead, I was getting quite a few.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very cool.
So quite a few on there. So.
All right. Well, good answer. And we are going to move over to Mr. Jason Heine. Jason, how's it going?
It is going great. How are you, sir?
Excellent, sir. So same question on your Xbox 360. What achievement or what game are you kind of really proud of? Like what's...
You know what? It's going to have to be Hydro Thunder Hurricane.
I think you did say that.
Yeah. Which one am I most impressed with or happy with? I don't know. I think I have just about all of them done, minus a few. So, and I think that's the only game I have almost all of them achieved.
Yeah, I don't think I have any that are completely maxed out at 1,000. I think for me, it's going to be Skyrim. I have like 900 or 850 or something like that.
Wow.
All right. And of course, Mr. Pete Dorr. Pete, how's it going?
Pretty good. Two come to mind for me. One would be Ridge Racer 6, because that game is extremely hard to get 1,000 gamer score in, like insanely hard. As well as any achievements that I have in Final Fantasy 11, because that is known as being the hardest game on Xbox 360 to get 1,000 out of 1,000, and no, I don't have 1,000 out of 1,000 on that game.
Huh, interesting. All right. Well, the reason why I'm asking this is because our special guest tonight is Krista Charter, but many people know her as Trixie360 on Xbox Live. And how's it going?
Great. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. And so I'm not going to ask you that question. I'm going to ask you a little bit different question. And that's because you have a very special achievement. And that is the Xbox 360 Team NXE achievement.
That's true.
And tell me a little bit about that achievement.
Well, NXE stands for the new Xbox experience, which was the new dashboard that came out. I don't even remember how long ago it was now. 2008, maybe?
Yeah, I think it was 2008.
And so everyone who worked on the project got the achievement, and you had to work there and be on the right team at the right time. It's one of those that you couldn't share with other people. So yeah, hard to get.
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually, and it's funny because I was creeping on your achievement list, and I saw that as the very first one. I was like, "What is that?" So cool. So how's it going?
It's going great. Great.
Cool. So tell people a little bit of your history, because I recognize you from the old Sierra days, but you obviously spent a lot of time at Microsoft. I'm curious, what did you do at Sierra?
I actually worked on Interaction Magazine.
Okay.
If you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Magalog, we used to call it. So yeah, I was an assistant editor on that. I wrote stories. I did a lot of writing, but I also did kind of the crappy work too, like do my boss's expense reports and answer the fan mail, and Roberta Williams fan mail. Actually, I used to answer her mail. So I did a lot of stuff. And then after a while, I moved to creative services and wrote packaging and advertising for the games.
Like the text that's on the back of a box or in the manual, or
yep.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Somebody has to write it.
How long were you there for?
Let's see. I mean, all told, I worked at and with Sierra for 7 years, so it was like 2.5 at first, and then I did off-site and freelance for a couple of years, and then I went back full-time on-site back when they had moved to the new building, and then they wanted half of us to move down to California and the other half to be laid off. And I was in the California group, which was nice, except I hate Los Angeles, so I went to Xbox instead.
Oh, really? So when was that? Was that at the beginning of the sort of Xbox's birth, or?
Yeah, actually, a friend of mine that was in creative services with me went to Xbox when it was so, I was like, Microsoft is making a what? I was like, they're going to make a game console? Are you serious? So I went over there right after the original Xbox had launched and before Live launched. And that's going to be 10 years on November 15th since Xbox Live first came into the world.
Huh. And what was that like going there at that time?
It was great. It was great. It was just everybody was super excited. It was a small, lean team of really super passionate people, and it was also scary. I mean, we were trying to do a really big thing, and at that point, like broadband penetration in the United States was kind of sketchy. It was like, oh, half the people aren't going to be able to do it, and there were crazy ways to connect. And anyway, but it was super exciting because they got it working. Obviously.
And Xbox Live came out after the original Xbox was out for a while, right? Because it came out right around the time of one of the launches of Halo, I remember.
Yeah, so the Xbox actually came out November 15th, 2001, and Xbox Live launched exactly a year later. They originally wanted it to launch like in mid-October, and then they had slipped to Halloween, and then finally it's like, oh, I know, let's do it on the anniversary, because putting the service together was pretty hard to do, and they were waiting for the starter kits to come over from China, and they were late, and they finally had to have them flown over because the boat was too slow. So in order to hit stores on the launch day, they kind of had to throw money at it.
Hey, Krista, what were the expectations back then in the early days of the Xbox Live? Like, what was Microsoft like? Did you have goals as far as how many users you guys want to sign up, or what was it like back then?
Well, we did a technical beta first with, I can't remember how many people it was, but it was people, who are basically not Microsoft MVPs, but I can't remember the name of it, but people who beta test Microsoft products, but obviously not Xbox at that time because it wasn't really there yet. But so we did that for a while, worked out some kinks, and then there was what was called the consumer beta where people could sign up, and there were about 30,000 people in that. So it allowed us to work the kinks out of, connectivity issues and that kind of stuff. And then finally, just launched it wide into the world. I know everyone was happy. I don't remember what the goal numbers were, but obviously everybody was pretty happy with the result. And we launched with like 3 games that you could actually play online, so it was a pretty small stable to start with, and then the downloadable content was pretty slow incoming. But once it hit, it started being more often and cooler stuff. So
I'm trying to remember what the launch games were that worked online. I think one was Ghost Recon, one was maybe Unreal Championship. I can't remember the
Championship, third. Yeah, NFL Fever. And then there was Whacked. I don't know if you guys played that one.
Yeah. I think I played a demo of that or something. I do remember it though.
It was pretty funny. The funny thing about Whacked was, it's like cartoon character game show. And when Live launched in Japan, they actually had to go back into the game and redraw all the hands on the characters because apparently in Japan, the number 4 is very unlucky. So they did not want characters with 4 fingers. So they had to add a 5th finger or a thumb or whatever to all of the characters so that it would be acceptable in Japan.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
I don't know about you guys, but on November 10th, I will be a proud 10-year member of Xbox Live. I've never canceled my subscription, actually. So I'll have that 10. Yep, original gamer tag.
Wow, that's hardcore. I salute you.
That is Pete Dorr, the most hardcore gamer of them all.
No.
That's cool.
Who's good at math? How much money does that come out to be for 10 years?
Oh, God.
It's not the subscription; it's the downloadable content in the games that gets you, right?
That's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You should get a special achievement for that, Pete. Using,
Yeah, achievement unlocked.
Aren't they doing that now with Gamerscore? They're doing some sort of Xbox reward. So depending on how high your Gamerscore is, you get some perks.
Some games unlock stuff like that as you play them. I know that there are 2 guys that are going for the million gamer score.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's 2 guys that are at about the 800,000 mark or something like that, and they add, I don't know, it's like 3,000 a day or something. It's pretty crazy, but yeah,
That's kind of nuts.
I know. I don't know if I have the time for that.
I don't know if
life
that's-
outside of gaming.
Yeah, is that dedication or is that some sort of
Sickness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is.
That might be some form of OCD. I'm not sure.
So what did you do at Microsoft during the original launch of that? Were you doing technical writing?
I was a technical writer, and they brought me in because, and I was like, dude, I'm not a technical writer. I don't want to technical write. Ew, yucky. And they're like, no. We're doing this really kind of complicated thing called Xbox Live, and we need someone who can talk to customers in a fun and not boring, stupid way about how to do this really not kind of fun thing. So I wrote the little manual that came in the starter kit that told you how to connect to Xbox Live, and then I revised the original Xbox manual to add the Xbox Live stuff. And it was a lot of languages, and I mean, obviously I don't write the other languages, but project manage the whole thing.
And so that happened. And then, of course, the Xbox 360 is rolling around, and you had a much bigger role in that. I remember seeing you on my Xbox in my living room doing videos.
Every week.
Make sure to follow us, the All Gen Gamers podcast, on Facebook and Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube and in iTunes. And don't forget about those iTunes ratings, guys. We appreciate those. And for all other info, links, and our forum, please visit www.allgengamers.com.